All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast here, the Onslaught number 2 continuing coverage coming at you. What is the bracket stages? And, of course, round of 4 action going to be continuing. With that said, this being Thursday, this is the second of our round of 4 matches. Of course, Reason Gaming and Complexity, they competed against one another on Tuesday. Reason winning that series 2-0. They'll play the winner of this on Saturday. The loser set to play Complexity also on Saturday. With that said, excited to be here. Sync Esports going up against the Mystery Gang. If you have missed out on some HON action this last week or so with the Onslaught group stages, you probably are asking yourself, who the hell is the Mystery Gang? Well, that's kind of the fun of it, isn't it? Anyways, this is a team that actually has been really performing very well throughout the group stages, had some very good results. We're going to learn even a little bit more about them today as they face, of course, the dominant Sync Esports team that, well, to say the least, did very well in the group stages as expected. So, excited to be here. One other thing to note about today is that actually going to be joined by a couple of co-casters today. We're going to have some fun on today's cast. First, my first co-caster is Panny. Panny, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you, Bricky?
I'm doing terrific. I'm excited for this best of 3 here. So, and I'm sure you're doing good. You're excited to cast your fellow friends in Sync Esports?
Of course, yeah. I'm ready to watch them lose the Mystery Game.
That's not a friendly thing to say. My other co-caster, though, today is going to be Owned Me, Matthias, whatever you want to call him. How's it going?
I'm doing terrific, Bricky.
Why Matthias?
Really well after. Why Matthias? It's my real life name.
Okay. See, I guess. That's fine. Are you making like an official change, or is it more so you're kind of just living in the moment?
No, I think I'm gonna stick. Actually, I'm gonna stick to this for a while.
Okay. All
right.
Well, I'll try my best to start actually calling you Matthias then, if that's the case. Respect your wishes. All right. Anyways, we got a good best of 3 here, though. Excited for this one. We are already in the draft, with that said. So let's start talking about it. We got the initial bans: Moraxis, Moira, Swiftblade, and Warbeast being banned out here. Picks real quickly: Midas and a Magnus, Doctor and a Prisoner, Andromeda and a Parasite. So sort of Panny here. What do you think about this draft so far?
Okay, well, let's talk about, I guess, the bans first. Moraxis, Moira, Swiftblade. Moira's nothing really too special. Kezu's been banning a lot of Swiftblade recently against like every team he's played against. I'm not really sure if it's kind of one of those heroes that doesn't really take much to play. You don't really need to fit a lineup around it. It kind of fits in every lineup. So I guess he just wants to get that like easy kind of hero out of the way. And Moraxis is kind of the hero of the scene right now. He's been picked a lot in the suicide lane as well as mid. And then Warbeast and Moira, pretty standard. So I don't really see anything amazing with the bans except for the Swiftblade that now Kezu has banned. And then in terms of picks, I'd say right now I'd give the slight edge to Legion draft, but it's very, very even.
Okay, you're liking both sides then. Own Me, what do you notice about the draft so far?
It's basically what Penny said. Nothing out of the. It's pretty standard picks, I would say. Sync can basically, Midas can be everywhere. Doctor can even he has the option to go jungle. I've seen them do it before.
Yeah.
So they still have a lot of flexibility in the draft.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about a Doctor jungle? Zlapt has actually ran that a couple times. Do you actually think it is good, or is it kind of just trying it out right now and whatever? But
I talked to them about it. I'm a bit skeptical still. They think it's really good, as far as I understood, but I have not seen it have the biggest impact yet, at least.
All right, well, maybe we'll see that here in this game, as you're pointing out. Again, that is kind of the power, though, of a hero pickup like that now, is, knowing that could be an option. It kind of does keep you guessing a little bit still if you're Mystery Gang here, in terms of, well, is that going to be jungle, or will that be more the typical short lane Doctor that we're used to seeing? But only time will tell us. The next tier of picks, even, in fact, just about ready. And wow, that was a pretty quick one at that. Bubbles coming out from Sync Esports.
They have a lot of squishy ranged heroes right now in Legion. But I like Bubbles, kind of, because it's very good against Prisoner overall as a hero. And The way I notice Myst play a lot is they like to set up kills like crazy. So I guess Heroes with Escape must be pretty annoying to be against if you're Myst. And I kind of think Sync is just trying to draft around, not losing early game, just keeping the calm, and then slowly taking over mid to late game. Because right now, Hellborn doesn't really have that hard carry or any hero that's going to scale insanely well into late game, except for maybe Parasite with a good start or Prisoner with a good start.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a good O or a bad O.
That's Bubbles is gonna have a really great time, I can say the least.
Okay. So you also, I mean, the fact that they didn't ban it too, you could kind of question there, because yeah, he is very good against that Prisoner matchup.
Yeah. Basically, they only have right now. They only have Magnus to stun him. He can still shield out of Glacier's freeze. Prisoner can't touch the hero at all, and even Parasite to a degree cannot touch a Bubbles either, if played correctly. So Bubbles is gonna have a great time at least.
Agreed.
Another
But Prisoner is still really good though against Doctor and Midas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
that is true.
but then they have Andrew to swap that person out. So it's like that's why I said I give a slight edge to Sync, just because Andrew is such a good hero. At the moment, he can save anything. Like Shackle's not going to stop an Andrew from swapping.
You see right there, they didn't ban out also the Cthulhu font, and this is a matchup we're seeing more and more lately. It seems like if the other team has a Parasite, Cthulhu font seems like is a pretty good option. So Sync agrees here, and I assume that is going to be a jungle elephant here in the hands of Slap, so that means more of the farming Doctor Repulsor in the end. But yeah, tough times for Parasite ahead with that hook ability. As Dark Lady is the carry option. There you go. So
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, they have four heroes with escapes or escape abilities on Legion, and Dark Lady with what is it called? The Dark Blades. It's gonna prevent them from escaping. And at the same time, it's like one of the hardest carries in the game. So if they manage to take it to late game, I would favor their lineup, but it's gonna be really hard, I think.
The only fortunate thing is that it's going to be Prisoner versus Bubbles mid, so Bubbles will have like free farm. Prisoner shouldn't do bad though, but I don't know. What do you think about that matchup? I mean, Bubbles versus Prisoner mid.
Bubbles should win that.
Yeah. And bottom lane, I don't think Magnus will get too much either. Provided that Insania just does a good job of boxing out like he always does, unless they have some funky lanes that we don't know about. But I'm going to be waiting for that to see what's happening. Because I'm guessing Sync's just going to do the 1-1-2, and I'm guessing same with Hellborn, because they're kind of building a whole lineup around TDL right now. When it comes to late game, I don't really see it's really TDL destroying everything in fights and has like 4 other heroes just locking them down for him.
You know, something actually forgot to mention here, but definitely worth mentioning. Sync is using Slaske as their 5th here for today. I know he is one of these players that is trying out with the team currently. Of course, Zibbe, throughout the group stages, was trying out with Sync Esports, but now Slaske kind of stepping in as a new 5th tryout. So curious to see how he performs on that Bubbles, but oh my god, we may have some action here to kick it off. You see Cthulhu Fun on the front lines. Is he gonna choose
done.
Trample? Yes, he is. So Prisoner is caught, just man in trouble. And here comes the chase, the hero blocking. You see the rest of the team, they're like, you know, you're by yourself. There's not much we can do here. So, Bloodlust. Not a start that Mystery Gang was looking for. Here in the jungle.
They did force Elephant to go Q level 1 though, so he's gonna have to leech a bit of lane XP. But still, that was not worth it.
For Hellborn now. Glacius has. I was just checking his items because some people don't buy any stats, and I'm really happy he at least got like some stats this game. He got a couple minor totems and some regen. So whether he chooses to be top or mid, he should have a decent time top at least.
Something else to note was that Glacius actually spotted Insania placed this ward up here, so yeah, he's gonna go ahead and deward it.
Gonna get in time.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That is a pretty big start, because that means, well, and it looks like that they are going to be a little bit aggressive here as Parasite is caught in the jungle in the meantime. He doesn't have Infest just yet. Of course, no creeps even spawned just yet, so wouldn't really do him a whole lot of good, but he does have boots, and it looks like that's going to buy in the distance, yeah. He will survive, so a good getaway coming out right there. But how about this decision to send Andromeda aggressive?
I actually like this a lot. Because I think that Doctor will have a fine time against Mag bottom, or he should. Especially how Flint is playing. He's playing extremely well right now. Just make sure you box out the suicide, get your last hits. Like And then that mid lane, like we talked about, it's going to be in favor of Bubbles. So with that Bloodlust, Slap should get some fast boots now. He has 500 gold. And I think Insane will kind of do the same thing. Like he's just going to run around. And I think the main thing is that TDL just won't have free farm. And Midas will get good farm. And I think Sync is going to try to plan to just start snowballing in every lane right now. And this is really good lanes for Sync if they don't mess up bottom, more or less.
What do you think on me?
I agree, but they want, like, basically by doing this, they're also making the Dark Lady having a really hard time. And as Penny pointed out before, Dark Lady is gonna be the only one dealing damage later on.
Yeah.
So if they can keep him away from getting his fast cleaver and snowball, they should be good. But this elephant still does not have level 2.
Yeah.
Which is, like, he's
Just noticing that. I mean, that Parasite just kind of going to his face. Not often you would see that, but he knows that still being level 1 has that trample. So Callum making a smart play right there, knowing that he doesn't have to worry about the hook'em just yet. But you can tell that they're trying to get him level 2, and I assume after 1 or 2 creep kills, he should have it right here. As, yeah, they're going to spread out even, get in the solo experience. There we go. Now he is level 2, and then Midas going to head back into the lane. So swapping it up here. So some good assistance coming out from one another. But yeah, more so looking at this lineup here, the Midas, the Doctor, the Bubbles, it is pretty evident that Sync maybe from the beginning definitely wasn't planning. Maybe they were planning to run the jungle Doctor Repulsor, but you know, because with the Parasite in the opposition, they had the chance to pick up Cthulhu Font, they decided that was for the better, and thus the lanes ended up how they are. But yeah, that did kind of leave Andromeda in an odd spot as, oh, that's awkward.
By the way, Magma's TP top. Suicide.
Did they unpaw? He's still DC.
Okay, there we go.
Magma's coming to gank, so I think Myst. I think this is actually the right play if they get a kill. But the problem is, wait, does Insane have any vision? Oh, he doesn't. Okay, this might be really bad for Sync.
The fact that they dewarded that ward on the high ground earlier was really big.
If they can set up this gank, it's definitely worth it. If Sync realizes Magnus is here, just gets back, swaps Andro back bottom, he pulls the jungle, Zlap goes passive, I think they can kind of get away with this. But one bad play from either Zlap or Insane, not necessarily bad, but if they have some unfortunate positioning, this could definitely just be a huge turn for Myst. I think this is a really nice play from Fizz Maestro, keeping top. Well, let's just see if it pays off.
Yeah, that's worth noting too. He's actually a different 5th year for Mystery King for today. But here we go. The Wild Hunter coming in. They definitely see Magnus by now, so they know numbers are here. They're still trying to run though. Andromeda, she is a little slow. The Leech on top of that, extra slow coming out. The freeze there as well. Andromeda, one more auto attack gets the kill coming out. You see Midas attempting to help save with Cthulhu Font, but not much more they could have done right there. And it does get the kill. So as you're talking about, good rotation coming out. It seems like the bottom lane may not be going too well for him, so might as well make a play elsewhere.
This Trident for Sync is actually not working out at all. If you look at the Dark Lady's farm compared to the Midas farm right now.
Yeah, wow.
He's...
CDL did just get a kill, so it's a bit inflated, but yeah.
Well, even creep kills. Yeah, he's absolutely dominating there.
Sure.
18-4. Meanwhile, Prisoner in the meantime, the middle lane trample hits, and the auto attack from Bubbles to finish him off. We're not done just yet, though. Freeze coming out onto Bubbles. Shell Surf in 7 seconds. It's going to be a while, and I think it's going to be too long at the end. Yep, Sloske is going to be picked off, and it will end in a 1-for-1. Cthulhu Font will just take over middle in the meantime. But the 1-for-1 exchange, Prisoner for Bubbles, both mids going down as the rotations continue. So a bit of movement here early on.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think Magma should be in such a bad spot in the bottom lane, at least, that he has to run without boots here.
Shouldn't be that bad.
Even though he has gotten 2 kills, that worked out, but he's still struggling a lot on his own farm. I don't know. Do you think he should be so demolished that he can't lane in bottom lane, Penny?
Well, I think like his mid lane.
Yeah, he's dead.
Wow.
That was good coordination. Magnus stunned in.
Yeah, that was well played. Yeah.
Hook hit, and they got the kill. Well played.
Going back to the Magnus, well, the thing is, yeah, he bought a shield. So, I mean, as soon as you buy a shield, you kind of commit to laning a bit. Like, he could have gone boots and kind of roamed if he guessed that there was going to be 2 bottom, but he probably thought that maybe he could win the lane, and then he abandoned it super fast. Like I said, it was a really good TP top, but now he's been roaming a bit too much. Obviously, it's working, but you just have to think about the fact that, you know, Flensmeister, he's level 6 now, he has Steam Boots, and that hero can literally gank any lane. As soon as like a team dives too deep to a tower or goes too deep in a lane, like he's just going to TP. So we'll see if Sync can take advantage of this. But at the same time, Mag, he has Striders, I think, now in the courier. So he's going to start roaming, and if he gets some more successful ganks off, it's going to be worth it. But he's got to keep up the roaming because he needs that PK in about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, they did abandon top lane now actually. Yeah. And like them shutting, I would imagine their force was they wanted to shut down the Dark Lady, but that has not worked out at all. They've gotten Myst some great farm, but shutting down the Dark Lady has not worked out at all. I still think he's gonna have a pretty fast cleaver timing.
Not easy either.
Yeah.
Put her down.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, the only thing that I think hasn't gone Sync's way this game is just the bubbles mid lane that died a couple times because of the ganks. But I think that they kind of plan to, if bottom backfires, you see Insane just rotated back. By the way, top lane.
Yeah, that's an easy
gets
kill.
picked off. So Magnus roaming, like I said, really well played. But as long as I think Insane keeps up getting levels, it's super important that he just gets some XP, and he's actually pulled right now to do that. Chain pulled. So they can keep that Anjo high level, maybe go for bottom tower. They still have a lot of resources and a lot of damage to fight Hellborn, like in the mid-game stage or even in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but one team fight was going to change a lot if Hellborn wins it.
Yeah.
I think actually, if you look at bottom lane.
Big hook.
There's the hook in. Dr. Pulsar can't ludicrous speed because of that shackle, and yes, he will fall. So you talked about the prisoner pickup, and it does make sense. Myst and Doctor especially, it is a good pickup against them. And working right there, Parasite, he ran into a trap. He had no clue this would be happening, and he ends up going down. Good setup there from Sync to at least get a turn kill and make it a 1-for-1 there in the process. So a little bit of revenge at least, but Doctor slowing him down a little bit, and Dark Lady even gets a further gap now. The GP
Bubbles.
Yes.
Trying to set something up top. I don't know if they have the damage. No,
They should be able to kill him if they found him. But he knows, I think he knows, since he's staying in the woods here.
He's playing really smart right now. Oh, they had a ward. They had a ward on them, yeah. Okay, so at mid lane when he ran. So, yeah, it's really nice. It's a really nice ward from Forgotten One and stops another rotation. I mean, on top of Bubbles not, getting a gank off, Magnus is still farming mid. So you're always getting more than it just looks like on paper right now. And Dennis, Flensmeister, though, he wants to get a kill mid. I like this rotation from him if he can pull it off, but he's going to get spotted by the ward. Yeah, this ward is doing a lot of work right now for. Oh my god.
No, and he smoked right on top of it.
They might even try to kill him now.
Do they have any kind of vision themselves? They do got a ref ward on Glacius, but obviously that wouldn't spot. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of catching him here. But
please don't die, Cannon Dwarf. Don't do this. If Cannon Dwarf plays just a bit. Okay, they're getting 4 people here, so they're expecting this. Magnus running top as well now.
Yeah, here we go. There's the jump on a Dark Lady. Does she have the backup in time? It doesn't look like it. She is going to fall. Can they get the turn kills, though? Freeze comes out. I don't know if they have enough damage. It doesn't look like it either. Magnus, he does have a stun, though. Big stun on both. Down goes Dr. Repulsor. Trample coming out, but the hook actually pulled him in. After the fact, Transmute will help to kill Glacius, but Myst ends up falling. It is now 3 versus 1. The Elephant, he's tanky. Is he tanky enough? Here comes Bubbles, though. Sloskate trying to get some turn kills once again for Sync, and Magnus will be at least one of those kills. Beautiful stun by Slapped as well on a Prisoner with the trample, and down goes Prisoner. Parasite, can he, he has a leech coming up. He's going to choose to infest, actually. He takes over the Hell Cannon and is going to go for some damage that way, but there's the hook from Slapped. And a double tap coming out. It's not over just yet, though, even. Double tap for Sloske, but now Cthulhu Font, the damage onto him is getting pretty intense. Trample not going to be up, silence anyways, and he will fall. Doctor flies in later after coming back with the resurrection. That's how long this fight's been going on, and that finally will be the conclusion of it. So a lot of kills happening back and forth right there. No buybacks were used.
That was in great favor of Sync, though. I think they were like a couple hundreds ahead in gold and XP. Now they're 3 and mid again. So much action.
Yeah, they catch him.
So I don't know if you guys noticed that top lane. When Slaskate came in with Bubbles, he slapped his bottle with a regen rune. Slapped bottled up, and that's how he had enough mana to actually Q and W to kill Parasite.
Okay.
So it was a really big play from Slaskate passing the bottle. But overall, I don't know. Who do you feel came out on top there, Omi?
They Sync come big time ahead. They were a couple hundreds, as I said before, ahead, and they were like around 3k in both XP and gold after. Because Insane pushed top bottom tower as well at the same time. He was not in the fight. Instead, he got the bottom tower.
He has steam boots now. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, isn't that
It's a lot of
nice?
farm for support. Yeah. Especially for the start that he had. I mean, top lane didn't really farm anything, died kind of early on. So, really good job of recovering. And I mean, if you think about it, yeah, Sync was kind of like 4v5 in that top area with that huge clash. So, really,
Just,
really good.
I think they just simply have the better heroes for this early aggression.
Oh, yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, they're making use of it. I will say, Flans, this is his second Veiled Rod here. This early on in the game, he ends up into the top lane. He's spending a lot of time trying to set up kills rather than, just simply farming. And you got to question that a little bit, I think, because you look at the lineup, and, he is their carry in the end. So, I mean, how do you feel? How do you guys feel about that?
Before I talk, top lane.
Oh, yeah, actually,
Some action.
Glacia's a little too far up. But Parasite, that's because he's here. Midas is going to fall, but there's that Dr. Pulsar flying in. Gets the one kill on Glacius, trying to set up on a Parasite. Will be the 2 kills as Sasuke comes in. Maybe a little bit of overkill there, but wanted to guarantee it.
He's the prisoner.
Place the prisoner, yeah. Sania? Oh, no.
Oh, it's not gonna.
Omid, you want to go first?
No, you can take it.
Okay, well, I think how Fundsmeister and Sync is thinking right now is that we shut down Dark Lady, he gets no Rune Dax in the next 10 minutes, we win this game, 100%. Now, obviously, it's a big risk, because if it fails, Fundsmeister loses farm. He doesn't, like right now, he's at 300 gold per minute. He doesn't have the brightest start, I guess. Maybe you'd expect like one more item on him, maybe like a mana ring at this point, if he's going to go Icon. So it's a bit of a risk that they're taking, but I think if they're able to get 1 to 2 more kills on Dark Lady in the next like 3 to 4 minutes, they have this game in the bag. But if it fails and they turn, then it's going to be a very, very long, drawn-out game, and Fundsmeister's going to have to recover.
Yeah, I want to say that even though Sync are ahead, I think that you would expect their lineup to be ahead. They should be ahead at this point. So they're gonna get the Dark Lady.
Yeah, there we go again. Another Veiled Rod, by the way, but the follow-up wasn't necessarily in time, but it doesn't matter. They still chase him down. Dark Lady follows Glacius, also takes some good damage. Obliterate will finish him off, but at what cost here? Cthulhu upon the face lock on him, but there's just too much pressure from Sync. Overall, Magnus tried to get a very greedy eruption off. That wasn't going to happen. And Parasite also going to be picked off. A 4-for-0 exchange. And now we're looking at a big gap growing here for Sync Esports as a result of this. So, I see what you're saying, Omni, as far as they kind of should have been ahead. But now after that fight, I think they are at a point where they're feeling good.
If you noticed, Glacius actually froze the Dark Lady. So after he charged away, he could not run away. Maybe, I think the Glacius did not expect him to charge away in time. So he he wanted to reduce the damage, but he actually, like, killed the Dark Lady.
Yeah.
That was a bit cocky though by Midas, because he could have just QW'd, but he chose to QE to be a bit closer. So the combo took about 5 seconds late, and that's why he got the charge off. But stopped with a really big portal key play, and he gets a kill. And he actually wants to go for a kill here as well. I don't think he needs more support though. There's no way he can solo this guy. But
what I think the whole bunch should be doing is just they should just be dodging fights and try to split push and try to get some farm with the Dark Lady. But at this point, it's really hard because Sync has so much map control at this point. If you look at the aggressive wards, and they basically have control of the Hellborn routes right now. So it's, after that team fight, it's looking really grim to say the least.
Yeah. He's seeking through the fun. Not getting any kills by any means, but harassing Parasite quite a bit, getting some nice farm. And look at these stacked camps here. Just gonna be taken by Sync. That's gotta hurt, man. For Mystery Gang, it's trying to set up for the eventual Rune Cleaver of Dark Lady, and those are all getting taken out by Sync. So the swing right there is ridiculous. 8,000 goldie now to 7,000 experience for Sync Esports here. And yeah, not the greatest start.
I don't know if Sync. I feel like Sync would want to defend this bottom tower, but seeing how it's full HP, Hellborn's not really committing. Yeah, okay, Hellborn's gonna go for gank mid. This is completely risky, but okay, more of Sync shows. Hellborn's probably like, maybe we should be a bit more patient. But
they're gonna take a fight.
Any fight right now is gonna favor Sync, 100%. It doesn't matter if it's 5v5 or they are 4v4, 3v3. Like, as long as the numbers are even, Sync should win this fight because they're so much ahead for 14 minutes in. Yeah, it looks like they might want to fight here.
The initiation pretty weak right now too for the Hellborn team, and you kind of see that right here. They're trying to maybe go in, but it's not really working out. Bubbles, he distracts them quite a bit. The tower is denied, and actually there's a freeze on of Bubbles. Glacial Downpour is going to be canceled immediately though, as Bubbles, a lot of burst damage on him. They pull in Dr. Repulsor. Bubbles is still alive, in fact. He shell surfs away. He's going to survive And they take out Dark Lady in the process, and now here goes more. Magnus caught out. He goes down as Doctor pulls him in. Parasite going to run as well as Prisoner. I don't know about that choice right there. He pulls them in. Yeah, that's one of those awkward moments that you instantly regret. That's a double tap for Keizu. And Sync, the lead just continues now. It is past 15 minutes here, and you're looking at nearly a 12,000 golden experience lead now all of a sudden at this point. So, well,
yeah.
Mystery Gang missed their timing, I think.
I think it goes back to how Sync plays. I mean, they know that if they keep that Dark Lady down, they know they have the better team fight. And I think that's a lot of the problems with a lot of the teams nowadays. Even teams like Sync, people fight so much nowadays in Han. And it's just so addicting to take fights all the time. But if you don't have the better, team fight, you have to split push. You have to just force ganks. You can't. There's no way you can just fight 5v5, and it shows right now. I mean, Myst, they kind of wanted to take some fights earlier on, 5-6 minutes ago. It didn't work. 2 fights in a row, and now the game is just 11,000 gold and XP in favor of Sync. I mean, all the momentum is on their side now.
Yeah. How about, let's talk about a couple of item choices. I know they have a pretty significant lead. It's not going to end just yet, apparently. Cthulhu going in. Quick kill on Iglesias, and Dark Lady also. Too much damage intense. It's, only having a Sustainer and Ghost Marchers. Obviously, she's not by any means tanky. And with the aggression here of Sync Esports, it's just too much to handle. The top 4 farmers all belong on their side right now, so you really got to wonder how much longer Mystery King is really insisting on hang on in this game number 1 here, as actually they will catch Dr. Repulsor. The eruption going off. He doesn't get it off, though. Transmute connects, double tap for Sasuke, and down goes Prisoner to finish off. It's a near genocide even for Sync, but yeah, I gotta think this game's gonna be ending here soon. But what about the choice real quickly from Cthulhu to go Void Talisman here, following up the portal key? Is that just because of Prisoner, you think, or?
Yeah, Prisoner, Dark Lady. Yeah.
Prisoner,
none of Prisoner spells can hit you when you have that, so you're basically, you can't be touched by Prisoner, and at the same time Dark Lady can't do anything either. So it's basically 2 heroes that cannot do anything to you when you have that. I think it's...
Knowing how nerdy Slapped is, I mean, he's like probably the major totem gives him a lot of mana as well. And Cthulhu doesn't need, like he has very little mana pool as a hero. So, and the way this game is going, like insanely active, I mean, it makes sense as well.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that Slap has been the MVP of this game so far as well. I mean, he's been hitting every single Cthulhu stun. It's not as easy as it looks either, especially from far away. So, playing really well.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, yeah, Cthulhu definitely one of those heroes. When it comes to a stun, it's definitely not guaranteed like other heroes for sure. So, Slap 7, 1, and 8 right here, 427 gold per minute. Yeah, most certainly having very high impact. You do see Void Talisman also picked up on Keizu now, in fact. So. Let's start talking about this mindset now. This being a best-of-3 series, this is only the first game here. Mystery Gang, knowing that they're coming into a top-dog matchup here against Sync Esports. Mystery Gang kind of still newer to the scene. How much longer does it almost hurt them, the fact that they are trying to play this out here? Or do you kind of feel that may be overrated? Let them finish it out, let them have fun with it, and see what happens? Or do you really think they should be moving on to Game 2?
That really depends on how people are as persons, I think. Because some people, they do not benefit at all from... if they think the game is lost and they're forced to keep playing, it's just going to get much worse in the next game. So if you have those kind of people in the team, you might just want to concede if the game is over, basically, instead of trying to keep on playing. But some teams, they never give up.
Seems like Mystery King might be one of those teams, as more clashes happening. Dark Lady again getting picked off. Prisoner, he somehow missed the hook as it went right in between them right there. Prison Break going to be used, but that's not going to matter either. And yeah, it's just rinse and repeat right here for Sync Esports at this time. There's 3 kills. It's going to be a 4th one on the Magnus. Parasite will survive, but, well, it just will continue now for Sync as far as moving forward.
I don't know, they're probably just thinking, like, what do we have to lose? So, but I'm pretty sure they're aware of, like, the situation they're in. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Pretty obvious here at this point. Even Alchemist Bones on Andromeda, by the way. Why not?
Yeah, there's...
Counter the Parasites, boys.
There you go.
And
that's
the
only
GG
reason.
spot.
All right, GG well played. It is official now. Sync Esports does take the first game over Mystery Gang. So, yeah, we knew going to this one. And obviously, Sync is the favor. And Mystery Gang has been playing very well, but It is Sync Esports after all, and they are continuing to look very good. So we'll start with you, Pandy, first. Any final thoughts on this first game here?
Well, first of all, extremely well played by Sync. Like I said, slapped MVP of that game. Insanely nice stun on the Bloodlust, setting up the kill, and pretty much the whole laning phase for the next 5-10 minutes for Sync. As for Hellborn, I think that they're Myst. I mean, I've played against them a couple of times, even in this tournament, and I think they're extremely solid players and even a better team together. I think they just need to pick a bit more kind of safe heroes in the sense of they can't get picked off that easily, and just try to be a bit more passive or a bit more aggressive depending on their lineup. I think that they definitely have potential, and they can maybe even take game 2 if they just continue playing like they have been the past week and a half against all these teams.
Absolutely. Matthias, what about you? What are your final thoughts?
I actually like their draft a lot. The Hellborn lineup. Except for the Glaciers, they should have something else instead of the Glaciers, I think. But